Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Here we are. Let's see. This is Saturday, September. See the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, September the 8th, 2019. Old John down here in southern West Virginia. Twist of World News. And, hey, just picking up more info. Trying to pass out a little more info. You know, I just got out of the shower. Man, I smell like roses that wish they could. But yeah, I guess you believed that, didn't you? But I was just thinking, the biggest propaganda machine ever formed, ever built, is in place right now. I mean, I'm talking electronically. The devil has sowed his garbage in people's hearts and minds for thousands of years. But I'm talking about a technological era of manipulation. Manipulation, not manipulation. These people, I mean, this involves politicians, it involves newscasters, it involves reporters, it involves people on the street, it involves these government systems or agencies of law. It involves many, many things. Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, he says they got the documents showing that Comey actually was running, I forget exact words, okay, so you can correct me if I'm going to get wrong on this, that he actually was running or formed or built or something a coup against the American president, Donald J. Trump, a duly elected official into the president of the United States, into the Oval Office, that they actually tried to turn over an American election. They had just excused a person that had broken law after law after law after law after law, Hillary Clinton. They just give her an excuse, a pass. I want you to get this in your head. Say you're in high school and you're having class, and this idiot comes down the hall screaming and taking a broom handle or something, slapping these steel lockers and banging on the windows of the classroom door, and he's making all kinds of ruckus, doing all kinds of things wrong. And the principal follows him down through there and says, y'all just keep going. Never mind. It's all right. Nothing wrong. It's good. Okay? That's basically what Comey done with Hillary Clinton. It's all right. Keep going. Never mind. It's good. They give her an excuse. She had destroyed public property. That, they want to tell you it's government property, but it's public property in America. When you have a system of freedom where the people are the power, the government owns nothing. It owns friggin' nothing. Don't listen to them. They own nothing. Those politicians personally may have property that is theirs, but everything up there belongs to me and you. It don't belong to the government. It belongs to us. But see, the government, an overpowering, an overburdening government, will have you believe that it belongs to them. But it doesn't. It will in a socialist system. They will have you believe that everything is theirs, that it belongs to the group of politicians, that it belongs to the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the IRS, the Pentagon, the White House, the Oval Office. They'll have you believe it belongs to the federal government. Listen, in a freest society of America, the government owns nothing. It belongs to the people, me and you. She destroyed, her and her cohorts destroyed public property, government property. They just lied to the American people. They cheated. They done everything in the world. They become millionaires, and I've heard even billionaires, the Clintons. They become that by actually manipulating and lying and cheating. Okay? They had just excused, Comey had just excused Hillary Clinton. She had an illegal server. Top secret documents that came through her went into that server, and into her sidekick, the Muslim woman, went into her sidekick, and her husband, Anthony Weiner. He even had this stuff on his personal laptop. Things on his personal laptop that was not supposed to be there. But because of Hillary Clinton, the garbage that resides within her, that stuff was put out in the open. She broke law after law after law. Barack Hussein Obama knew it. He used the illegal server. They know he even used it. They broke it. It wasn't just her, it was him. And we're finding out more and more people, more and more names are coming up. This is bigger than you and I think. I told you this, 6-8 years ago. This is bigger than what we think. I told you 6 or 8 years ago, this is going to blow our little pea-picking minds if it all ever comes out to what took place. It's bigger than you and I think. You don't take a handful of people and do what these people have done and gotten by with it this long. A handful of people don't do that. But now it's little coming out. I've said things here that on Twisted World News that I've never heard anyplace else. I mean, I don't listen to everybody, you know. I just, maybe a very small circle of people I may listen to here and there. But I've said things that I've heard even Fox News and others repeat later. And it's not because I'm hot or special. It's because God just let me look into a certain little particular spot and realize that it was taking place. Not many places, not many spots, okay? I'm not telling you that all the time. Don't go out here and say I said it, because if you do, you're a liar. But he's let me look into certain things. Some little things. It may be just like it's bigger than I thought, or we thought. Maybe just that little thought. I said it, a while back, a few years ago. And I've heard Glenn Beck say things that when he was on Fox News, and maybe even now on the Blaze. I don't get to watch him on the Blaze as much, but I've heard him say things that, that people laughed and got him kicked off of Fox News. But we're finding out actually Glenn Beck was right. 100% right? Maybe not. But Glenn Beck was right, Jack. He was right in a lot of areas. Matter of fact, Glenn Beck is the one that got my attention on this stuff. When he was on Fox News there, whenever it was, 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8, whatever it was. He's the one that got my attention. But we're seeing this stuff. It's coming out. Tom Fitton says Comey ran this coup. That he had it going. Why the DOJ hasn't nailed him, they know the stuff is there, but maybe it's because they can't get their hands on the very final 1% proof that he done it. They know he done it. But you have to be able to prove it. But I'm hearing they're going to boomerang that William Barr, the AG, is actually going to boomerang and come back and call me at another angle. And I'm hearing it more and more that it is forming, it's setting up. And it just goes nuts. And here the leader, the CEO of Fox, steps down, and his sons take over, from what I garner, and they're more liberal in their thinking, and now they're taking on more liberal contributors, Donna Brazile and Paul Ryan and stuff, and we know that there's little shady things that they done. Brazile give Hillary Clinton the questions that were going to be asked right on the platform when they was doing a debate with Donald Trump. That shouldn't have been done unless Donald Trump got them too. If they would have handed him the questions, not the answers, but the questions, then it would have been different. Or had they not handed her the questions to her, it would have been different. But she did. Hillary Clinton got the questions on the platform before this debate began. So that was shady, okay? Now she's a contributor of Fox News, and she has a voice on Fox News. Paul Ryan, from what we garner, he could have handed down indictments to people, representatives in the House of Representatives. He could have handed down indictments to them because things they had done, and he refused to do it. Why? I don't know. But Paul Ryan was a little shady spot when Trump was trying to get things done. When he was trying to get things done here, 2016, 2017, before Nancy Pelosi stepped in as Speaker of the House, and Paul Ryan, he retired. He was trying to get more things done under Paul Ryan, and Paul Ryan was a shady spot that wouldn't work with him. Why not? We see now, after almost 3 years, Donald Trump has actually done an awesome job. The economy's doing much, much better. People are making more money. He's not going to tell you you're going to be a millionaire overnight. They said there'd been, a 2 point something or 4 point, no, not 2, excuse me, a 0.4% or 0.2% take-home pay, increase on take-home pay. That works. Every bit you get works, people. It works. More jobs are created. Unemployment numbers are the best they've been. Black unemployment has dropped, and the numbers of black people working have increased. People hollering racist said, well, there's a big gap between whites and blacks. They find out now that under Trump, that gap between the whites and the blacks on employment is decreasing. The blacks are coming up. That's awesome. That's awesome news. It's awesome news. Well, yeah, nobody deserves to be shunned or cheated or whatever. That's America. That's the way it's supposed to run. Everybody's supposed to come up to an even keel. That doesn't mean the poor are going to be made rich. It doesn't mean the rich are going to be made poor. Listen, like it or not, the rich are going to remain rich. The poor, the Bible says the poor will get poorer, even more poor. But there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. During these times, the Antichrist, his major socialist rule or regime, he'll be calling the shots. But see, it's not going to be just a money thing. This is going to be, there are going to be a lot of things involved. Euthanasia will be involved. Abortion will be involved. Everything in the world will be involved. You have to pay attention. You got to pay attention. This is things that we know that are coming at some time. We don't know where. We don't know exactly where the twists and turns of a road that's going to get us there, but we know it's coming. Decisions man makes on the earth depicts the avenue, the path of the road, whether it's straight, whether it's got a huge right turn, whether it's got a huge left turn. The decisions we make depict how our course lays out in front of us. But we know through God, through the Bible, we know where it's going. We know the Antichrist is coming. And all it's going to be is one huge socialist worldwide machine of evil. The Bible says that even under the name of peace, even through peace, many will perish. Now listen, you think this is all just religious jive? Pay attention. Pay attention. Scientists are saying a third of the world's population needs to die off. They say there's over 6 billion people in the world now. Or 6 billion, somewhere around there. When you realize how many a third is, that's 2 billion people. Scientists are saying 2 billion people need to die off in order for the world, for society or humanity to survive. Okay? I seen a video when Glenn Beck was on Fox News. He showed a video one day, this woman talking to a big crowd of people. I forget the woman's name. But he showed a video. This woman said 2/3 of the world's population need to be eradicated. 2/3. 6 billion, 4 billion need to be eradicated, done away with, destroyed. Okay? Now you better watch it. Watch these friggin' socialists, man. I'm telling you. And liberalism is nothing but a twin brother of socialism. It's atrocities given excuse. Disgraces given excuse. Damnable thoughts and actions given excuse. That's all liberalism is, people. It's a rot. It's a sewer. It's a literal friggin' pig poop filled sewer. Alright. Now, every one of the Democratic Party, some not as bold, not as strong, not as outspoken as others, but all of them are speaking toward a socialist system. They all are. Some of them are leery because they know that the majority of Americans are not going to go for a socialist system, so they're holding back. They're playing a little political role or game, whatever. But they know, okay, they know that they can't be that outspoken or they'll not get backing. The majority, listen, the huge majority of Americans are backing Donald Trump. And they all know it. They all know it. But see, that's the reason they have this liberal, socialist, gigantic propaganda machine operating. I've got videos. I've got one there that I've shown. I put it on there 3 or 4 times. Sean Hannity interviewing this guy that used to work for Google, I think. Google. But he said Google actually tried to manipulate campaigning or election results. Maybe not election results. They'll try to manipulate the minds, the hearts and the minds of the American public in 2015 or 16 that they actually could have affected from 2 million to over 20 to 22 million people. Now you think about that. They use their technological understanding to try to manipulate the thinking of people. They know that. He's testified of it. And he said 2 million. I think now you got to watch the video. I'll try to put it on here with mine. But but I'm not that computer savvy, so we'll see how it works out, okay? Sean Handy, so they try to manipulate over 2 million people. And that fellow said, no. He said, no, that's the minimal. That is the minimal number they tried to manipulate. He said the number actually goes as big as 20 to 22 million, if I'm not mistaken. You hearing me? We know that Facebook has played games. They try, listen, I'm just speaking of things that I know, okay? I've been doing Twist the World News, you know, my little page or private page or whatever, on Facebook for, I don't know, 15, or not 15, God, no, for 5-6 years, somewhere through there. And, you know, Facebook, if you get so many, you put a post out there and people, they'll click that little thumbs up thing and it'll be a like, and someone else will click it, it'll be a like, and if someone else click it, it'll be a like. You know, I'd get up to so many, I'd get up to 20, 24, 26 or something, and that'd be one week, and a week later they'd all be gone. Twist the World News have likes and they're gone. And that's when it's been like that all the time I've been here. Well, mainly because I don't give Facebook money for it. So, you know, because I don't have the finances for that. But who knows how many likes I've actually got, how many people have actually seen my post. I mean, Facebook could probably come up and tell you, well, John, you don't have as many as you thought. You may have had 321 people that actually have seen your post. I mean, that's the ones that click like or comment or reply. There may have been, they might have been in 20,000 seen my post, because I put them basically all over the nation. And I've had people likes and comments and stuff from other countries too. But, and, you know, leaders in this country too. I've had people like that come back to me. But, you know, that happens all the time. It doesn't mean this or that. It means there's more people seeing it than what you actually know, what actually comment or like or whatever, you know, reply. But see, what I'm saying is the numbers are up and down. We don't know how many are actually seeing the things. But I know there's more see it than what I'm getting response from. But they're playing this. What I'm saying is this. Facebook, now see, we know that Facebook has actually shown signs or evidence of biased thinking, liberal biased thinking. We've seen the signs of that. You know, they said that went in, well, they done this algorithm thing. They separate people according to their interest. You know, well, this and this here, this here, this here. But see, once they show this liberal biased intention, then what they can do, they can censor. We've seen the facts. They have tried to censor. They have censored, not tried. They have censored. They've censored conservative posts. We don't agree with this. Pow, whack it down. Cut its size down. Cut it down. Cut its reach down. And they've censored this stuff. Through their algorithms, they can censor things. And they've censored conservatives. The IRS, when Tea Party back in 2008, 10, 6, back through there, Tea Party was trying to file for tax exemption. We find out Lois Lerner and others around her that pleaded the fifth. Well, we can't talk unless we incriminate ourselves. That's what it says. We can't talk unless we let you know we actually cheated. That's what they're doing. They pleaded the fifth. We find out that Lois Lerner and others, actually fought the Tea Party on tax exemption. They fought a conservative, voice, a strong conservative voice on tax exemption. Others were getting tax exemption, but the Tea Party wasn't. They used the power of their office to manipulate things to suit their thinking. This all boils down to people. This all boils down to liberal thinking. I can take you to the Bible and show you what the liberal thought patterns do, what liberal thinking does to the people that can or are affected by them. I can take it to you and show it to you. Isaiah, Old Testament Bible. Isaiah 32, chapter 32, verses 6 through 8, or verses 5 through 8 will tell you what they do. You need to read it. You need to understand. You need to know why things are the way they are in Washington, D.C. and around the nation. And not only in the nation, but around the world. But this is the thing. What happens in America? What happens in America? If America falters or fails as a free country, as a country that notices, recognizes, and actually encourages the individual, what happens in America affects the world. If America falters or fails, the whole world cries. The whole world will cry. China, you got protests. This ain't Antifa protesting. It's not socialist protesting. It's not liberals protesting. It's not perverts protesting. It's that these are Chinese citizens saying, we want a voice. We don't want your socialist propaganda. We don't want your socialist power. We don't want your socialist regime. We don't want your socialist control over us. We want a voice. It's went on in North Korea. It's went on in Iran. Countries, other countries, people are protesting the overburdening power of a government that does not recognize the voice of the individual. But you want to know what's really crazy? In America, the voices that lie, cheat, steal, and manipulate, they're protesting because they don't want an actual fair, just law held over them. They want the right to lie. They want the right to cheat. They want the right to steal. They want the world handed to them. They want a bigger payday with less sweat. They want this and that and whatever. They don't want to actually deserve or to earn what they get by their actions. They want more than what their actions actually lead it justly given to them. They want to get more than what they actually deserve. They're protesting because the world's not handed to them in a golden vase or a golden bowl, or they don't hold this golden chalice or whatever in their hand, and they can drink the life, the everlasting life out of this glass. But they don't want to deserve that. They don't want to have to work or earn it to get it. I'm not saying there's some that's not willing to work. I'm saying they have gotten on board with an agenda that says we're going to give it to you. And they're being screwed. They're being set up. It's just like a scam on the internet. I know what that is, okay? I know what a scam is. I've been scammed. I know what it is. They're being scammed. Have you seen the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? Steve Martin and oh shoot, what's his name? He played on Miss Congeniality. He's played on. I've seen a lot of movies. I can't think of his name right off. Awesome actor though. And but they're scoundrels. I mean, these are scam artists, you know, and they go around and they jerk people's chains to get into their purses. And but they fool with this old girl. She's the woman that Tessa played on Dick Tracy. They tried to scam this old girl, and all the time it's going on, man, she is the master. Oh, she really roasts these guys, man. Awesome. Really. But that's what these socialists are doing. They're trying to buy your benevolence. They're trying to buy your patriotism to them. Things that they actually don't possess. It's not theirs. That's called a scam. That's called a scam. That's what these liberals are doing. They're scamming you. That's what these socialists are doing. They're scamming you. The proof is out there, people. It's already out. But the biggest propaganda machine ever built or formed is taking place in America right now. That liberal, socialist, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post. But see, they're little by little, the Washington Times and the New York Times, excuse me, Washington Post, New York Times, and all, they're little by little having to fess up. Little by little, they're having to fess up, man. They're having to confess, hey, things are doing better under Trump than what we believed. Things are actually going well from what they believe. But see, they got their hands into the poop. See, they pushed this poop, people, for 3 years. The Steele dossier and all, they pushed this for 3 years. How are they going to back off and say, we were totally wrong? How are they going to do that? Right now, there's a House of State trying to push impeachment. They don't have the first bit of grounds to push it. If they had had it, it would have been in the Mueller report. They had nothing to go on. Strong enough to say we can get rid of him, but yet they're trying. Oh, there's just so much going on, people. So help me. You're going to have to quit watching these liberal newscasts. You're going to have to quit listening to these liberal entertainers. You're going to have to quit listening to these people that have this godless, immoral attitude going on in their minds and in their hearts that says there's actually no truth. There's actually no right. There's actually no wrong. There's actually nothing said or in concrete or in stone. Everything, just throw it up in the air, and wherever you catch it, that's all right. That's what they're trying to do. Just throw these ideas up in the air, and if you have to reach here to catch it, or you have to fall over sideways and catch it down here, or in your gut, or in your crotch, or on top of your head, wherever you catch it's just fine. You're going to have to quit listening, people. There are things that are written in stone. They were written in stone when God spoke creation into existence. And just because I'm here or you're here is not going to change it. It is written in stone. It's not going to change. People will change. Circumstances and situations will change. But what God had written in stone during creation, when he said, let there be light, and he said, let this take place, let this take place, let this take place. When he said all this stuff, his word, his righteous, honorable, just word was being spoken in his words. It was being spoken and implemented into life. My presence, your presence will not change it. All you will do is if we try to manipulate it to satisfy John or satisfy you, what we will do is we will turn the essence of God and creation itself will rebel against us. Things will go wrong. God told the Jews in the Old Testament, He said, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Choose ye life that you may live. I have set, past tense. It's on its path. He said, choose rightly. Do that which is pleasing to me, and it'll go well with you, is basically what He said. Okay? And we think, well, it's not exactly that way, but we see in another place in the Old Testament, He says, I am the God that visits the iniquity of the fathers upon the children into the third and fourth generation. That's into your grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He said, I'm the God that judges the iniquity, the hidden sin of the father that is taught unto the children. And from their children to their children. And by the time it gets into the grandchildren and great-grandchildren, He said, I have already judged that sin. Whoever is committing the sin when judgment falls gets their fingers broke. Okay? That's basically what He's saying. Whoever's got their fingers in the sin when it's judged, they're the ones that's going to cry. I'm the God that visits the iniquity of the fathers upon the children into the third and fourth generation. It may take judgment 50, 60, 80 years to fall, but it will fall. If that sin is not repented of, if that life is not changed and turned away from that detour away from truth and honor, if that sin is not gotten out of and gotten rid of, judgment will come. What we're seeing right now, this division in the government, in the good Congress, is a friggin' poop hole right now. It's a poop hole, man. What we're seeing right now, people, is the results of things that took place 60 years ago. It's the results of things that had taken place years back. There's a lot of things when I'm just I'm doing something and my mind is just rolling over in things, and sometimes God's speaking things to me, then other times I'm just rolling, my mind is just rolling over different things that come to mind at other times. And then when I get in front of the camera, the things don't come the same. There's things that I don't remember that I want to put on a video, but I don't remember them. But this is the thing. Things have taken place or are taking place, people, that are contrary to life. They're contrary to mankind. They're contrary to society because they are contrary to God. They are contrary to the righteous essence of God. And it's costing us. It's costing us big time. People have decided they can lie, cheat, and steal. God told me legitimacy had been given to that. There's people cheating and lying and stealing today. They show no shame. They show no guile. They show no remorse. Even when they know their hands are caught and they're caught up in it, they show no remorse for what they've done. They're not sorry they lied to you. They're not sorry they cheated you. They're not sorry they robbed you. They're not sorry they manipulated you. Okay? A government is only as good as the people that run it. If the people that run it are lying, scheming perverts, your government will be a lying, scheming pervert. Okay? And the same way with the news media. If your news media are willing to lie and scheme and cheat and manipulate your ability to comprehend what is actually taking place, if they can manipulate that to get you to believe them instead of follow truth, they will do that. And then you end up, your news broadcasters, whatever, they are only as good as the people that ran it. And if you go to Isaiah 32, Old Testament Bible, verses 5 through 8, it'll tell you what a liberal will do. Listen, it says the liberal's a liar. A fool is a liar. They say they are cheat. They say they are villainous. Okay? Read it. Read it and understand. This is no longer Democrat and Republican people. Don't let these people shuck and jive you. It's not. It's no longer Democrat and Republican. Today, this is right versus wrong, good versus evil, fair versus injustice, or justice versus injustice, or fair versus manipulation and cheating. This is no longer Democrat and Republican. It's no longer that. Don't let them lie to you, people. It's no longer that. Have a good one, old John. I hope you find favor and grace in God's eyes. You'll find that grace is sweet. His love is beyond measure. Why he loves a friggin' creature like me, it's beyond me, man. I'll tell you what. Have a good one.